once again for an amazing live stream with the ever present, ever amazing,
hi guys,
most incredible wizard of loans I've ever met, Amber Coleman from Guild Mortgage. My name is Laci Cerrone. I am your Las Vegas gal, and we are here once again, as we always love to come to you once a week to really just kind of share what the hell's going on in the market and cover some specific topics.
And I miss my Laci.
I miss you too. So we
It's
took a
been a
couple
long
weeks
time.
off. Took a couple weeks off. We deserve it. We still owe you guys a dinner Q&A, live Q&A, but we'll be doing that soon. We needed a minute. This market has been crazy. So we needed a minute to just kind of hang out, figure out what's going on. But we're back today, ladies and gentlemen. And what we're really excited about today is giving you a really detailed market update that we're super stoked to kind of talk through. And then we're going to just straight up tell you why you should not wait to buy a house and kind of give you some backup.
I think it's good stuff.
This better be good stuff.
Yeah.
As always, all of our live streams are for you. So if you need to ask us questions or if you have something that's completely off the wall, not to do with anything we're discussing, don't worry about it. Drop it like it's hot in the comments below, and we'll get you answered by the end of the live stream, hopefully, and we'll get it going. You good?
Good. We like when people throw us off.
So, we do. We definitely
throw us
do.
the questions. Throw us the questions.
So I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, so it's a rainy, gloomy day all of a sudden here in Las Vegas.
It's
I'm just
so nice out
not
there.
Really sure what's going on.
We just went walking around and it started a.
I'm wearing a summer dress and I needed a winter coat and an umbrella, but I still
and
think
you're about to fly away in your summer dress too.
Yeah. So let's talk about the market update if that's cool with you. I'll give some numbers and then we'll just talk a little bit about what we've been seeing. Yeah. And then after that, we're going to really dive into some of the main themes that we keep hearing on the media, as well as from you guys when you call us about crash and about the rates and all this stuff. So again, we're going to be here for a little while. Sit back, relax, join us. Hope you're on your lunch break at work or hanging out at home and that you just chose to tune in with us. We certainly appreciate it as always. So let's talk about the current market right now. So I'm going to pull up a slide that'll show you some of the numbers. So we get this, we're always looking backwards, right? So the previous month, it's June now, we're looking at May's numbers. As of May, we are at 442 for our median home price, and we are at 275 for our median condo or townhome home prices.
That's so pretty steady.
It's pretty solid. Now, it is down a little bit month over month, but it is not plummeting to the ground like everyone and their mom would love for it to be, right? We are seeing still quite limited inventory. And what that means for you as a buyer and a seller really is that, there's not a lot of people putting their house on the market. We can talk about why that might be. But at the end of the day, because of that, it keeps those house prices pretty steady and pretty solid as we move through the year. So whether rates are up and inflation is up and all the new stuff that's going on out there, encouraging you to not buy because the crash is coming, the reality is it should have done come and gone if it was going to happen. The reason it's not is because there's not enough inventory to fulfill the needs out there for people who are currently moving to Las Vegas or moving around and buying homes. What do you think?
No, I totally think, inventory is everything. At first I was looking at the rate, like the feds being like the gatekeepers of everything, right?
Yep.
And then I started seeing rates climb up and up, but the houses were still selling, and like the prices were still going up a little bit too. So I was like, what's going on here? Then I started watching inventory and I'm like, okay, that's the gatekeeper of everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because as inventory is lower, people are always going to need to buy. And honestly, we're in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So that there's so much, so many jobs that are already in Las Vegas and people are moving here.
Yeah.
Especially with all the new news and all the new things that are opening up.
Oh man, the city never stops. She never sleeps. One of the things that's really important is that inventory number, right? So you now know, the median price point. I'll just put it back up here so we can refer to it. For single family homes, 442, 120. For condos and townhomes, it's going to be closer to the 275 range. That's great. That's fine. We are seeing a slight uptick with the number of people listing their homes. A lot of that has to do with it being summertime now and people waiting for school to get out. Okay, we were going to sell the house. We wanted to wait for school to get out. Now school's out. Time to list the house. But a lot of people are holding on to their homes. For what reason, Amber? A lot of people bought homes a couple years ago, and why would they not want to let them go?
And here's the whole reason for everything. People that owned houses during COVID, all of them either bought or refinanced at a 2 to 3% interest rate. So why would you sell when your payment is way cheaper than anything? There's no reason to sell. There's no way you can move up into something else and make it make sense.
The ones that are selling have to sell or need to move. There's no choice, or it's just what they're doing, right? So a lot of people who are listing right now aren't really even looking at the interest rate component. They're looking at, well, my neighbor Ned sold his house last summer and made way more than I'm going to make now, and if I keep waiting, the crash is going to come and I won't make as much. So a lot of fear in the market and a lot of fear-based decision making, which is super sad because there doesn't need to be any fear. We're here to tell you the facts for sure. So as far far as inventory goes, last month we had about 4,500, 4,200 listings active at the time that we were doing our ongoing updates. As of this morning, we've got current inventory, 5,200, 5210, 5,200 homes and condos and townhomes listed for sale right now. If you take that away and you just go down to just single family homes, we're at 3,900.
Is that like a month?
No, that's like today, right now.
No, is that like a month's worth of inventory? Like,
oh, sorry. It's not even a month. It's less than 2 months. It's unique. We really want to be in a healthy market. Still very, very tight. So we've seen a little uptick, but nothing crazy, right? We are seeing a lot of people still shopping on the market too. I know that one of the biggest things that we've been seeing is a lot of people, like I said, we're waiting for school to get out, right? So now they're like, okay, we got to move. We're moving this summer. It doesn't matter what the rates are. It doesn't matter what's going on. We got to get ourselves a house. And so they're out here looking. And so it's really, especially for obviously the lower price points, but even all the way up to like the 550s and the low sixes, we're seeing some true competition out there where people are like, doesn't matter about the rates. I'm here to buy a house, and they're outbidding each other. They're out there kind of duking it out.
I even saw one over $1 million the other day where I was like, really? We're fighting offers?
Yeah.
At this?
Yeah. So I mean, there are people buying and there are people selling. So I don't want you to, trust the media and trust the news into thinking like the crash is coming and everyone's just sitting on the sidelines. It's busy out there. I wish we had more homes to sell. That would be awesome.
I wish we did too, honestly. I wish that there was more, because then there'd be more concessions
100%. We do have a lot of new homes that are happening as well. A lot of our clients are taking advantage of some really cool stuff that's happening on the new homes front. So if you're interested in that, please certainly reach out. We can talk to you. And I want to make a small announcement if I can before we move on to the next thing.
Move. Yeah, make it.
So up to this point, for the last year or two, I've not been personally taking the immediate calls from you guys because it's a lot. You guys are a lot. I've been making videos for this channel and for all the great things that I'm doing. But I'm back to it. I'm back to it. I'm going to be so if you really want to ask questions, obviously when you reach out, you up to this point, you were getting my assistant. She was helping me schedule a call, and it would go that route. That's all gone away. It's just me and you, my friend. So if you want to reach out, you click the link in the description below or the pinned comment. You get me when you call. We'll do a little email, a little text. We'll find a good time. You get me directly.
That means you're getting the best of the best.
That's the best. Now, you were getting me before, but you weren't like getting on that first phone call. So I'm here.
Yeah.
And then you also get Amber too. I'm going to pass you over to her. It's all her. So one-to-one combat. We're going into this together with you. But I was just super excited to announce that any of those phone calls coming through.
Yeah.
I gotta be busy. Me. I'm gonna be
busy.
I'm gonna be busy.
You might have to do less videos.
Oh man, I know. But nobody needs that.
We'll still be here for the videos.
I love it. Yeah. So anyway, just please, if you're interested in even just asking questions, I had a client reach out yesterday who's thinking about renting. She's not even ready to buy. No problem. She had me on the phone for a few minutes and she had that list of questions, and she was so grateful that I was able to just give advice, and I wasn't pressuring her to buy and why don't you get approved for a loan. I didn't do any of that. I just said, here's some things you should think about, but what you got, give it to me. And she was super, super grateful. She'll buy with us at some point. We're not doing this just to get clients. We really genuinely care about people moving into our city or even around our city, making the right decisions and having educated, decision making going behind it.
We believe in home ownership.
We definitely do
so much. But even if, like you say, even if it's somebody that's buying a year from now, we're still going to help you get through your game plan, talk you through it, and help you find your way.
And we also believe in building this community. And we firmly believe that this community is a little disjointed at times. I talk about that in a lot of my videos about Vegas, and things you need to know is you have to really work hard to create your own community here. So, for me, it's been a big passion of mine, a big why behind what I've done is I want to help people connect, and I want to help people really plant roots deeply here in Vegas. And the only way to do that is by connecting to good people, having an honest, no transactional vibe experience from the beginning, and knowing that you can lean on people you trust. So we do these videos to help you, but you never should be afraid to reach out. You don't have to be ready to call us. You should call us and then we'll help you get ready, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Never hurts to work a game plan in advance.
Enough of that. So that's the deal when it comes to the inventory as well as the current pricing in the market. Let's talk a little bit about common questions that we're hearing, common comments, and some of the main themes in the market. The number one is, I'm waiting for a crash. I'm waiting for a crash. It's going to crash, inflation, and people are going to lose their jobs. And there's all this talk about the crash is coming, the crash is coming. I have a friend of mine, is a client actually, who said he loves to watch the Crash Brothers type videos on YouTube.
They're all over the place.
It's doom and gloom, doom and gloom.
People are making a lot of money off those videos.
Yeah, we're here bringing you hope and truth. So with that being said, what would you say to somebody if they said, I'm waiting for the crash before I buy?
Okay, well, let's talk about this in a common sense way. Okay, so we saw a crash in our lifetimes, right? It happened in 2008. And at that time, jobs were a big issue, right? At that time, banks made a lot of money by foreclosing on people. So what we're looking at right now is it's all over the news. Jobs could be an issue at some point in time. And that's what I keep hearing. Because I keep telling people, look, you have to look at the inventory to know that we're not in a place of crashing. It's quite opposite right now. We're in a place of moving up in value.
Still growing.
Because the inventory is lower. And then the next question I'll be hit with, but what about the jobs, Amber? People are going to lose their jobs. If they lose their jobs, here's what we already know, because we just lived it during COVID. During COVID, the banks put people on forbearances. So instead of foreclosing on the houses, so when jobs are lost, people can't make their payments. And what happened before is the banks foreclosed on them, and they made a lot of money. If you ever saw like The Big Short or something, they had it rigged so that they made a lot of money doing that. Those kind of things have been stopped, and there's laws that have passed against them doing that. So now what they're looking to do is they're looking to put people on forbearances or to modify their loans. FHA's already put out articles saying that they'll modify people on 40-year fixes to be able to make their payments more affordable. Conventional's put out some loans too. So if there's no foreclosures, there's no crash, because the foreclosures and the fact that people are staying in their house at 2 to 3% interest rate, that stops inventory from going up. When inventory goes up, that's when we have to deal with problems with the crash.
Too many homes and not enough buyers, that's where the crash begins. Yeah. Right? Too many homes, not enough buyers.
Yeah. Right? So as long as banks are going to help people stay in houses, if jobs become a problem, we all pray that they don't, but it's been all over the place. So
it's likely happening.
Something to look at, right? So if jobs become a problem and banks are going to be able to keep people in their houses by doing the same thing they did during COVID.
They just got a lot of practice with it. They just got it down. They got
a whole lot of practice with it. Yeah. And honestly, I knew some clients that missed 1.5 years of payments, forbearancing and putting those payments on the back of their loan. Plus, they control the market that way too. If there's no foreclosures and the inventory doesn't go higher because there's foreclosures, they're controlling the market to not dip in value. So I think people are looking at the wrong, they're looking at the past to predict the future. Yeah. When you have to look at what happened in the past and what's caused, what the different laws and stuff that have been put into place, and what different things are happening right now. Yeah. It's hard to predict the future anyway, but without a high amount of inventory, we're not going to be able to see crashes happening.
She always explains it so well. And I think the bottom line is like the crash isn't happening. If it was going to happen, it would have happened. We hope it doesn't happen. And you shouldn't hope that it happens either, because that means we've got major problems that are much bigger than a crash in the real estate market if we hit a crash status. So for us, we are here to tell you, we really don't think you should wait to buy. But let me back this up with some numbers. So like you were just talking, a lot of people, the other big thing that comes up is, not only the crash, but a lot of people will say to me, I just, I don't know, I just can't see spending $443,000 on a home in Las Vegas when 2 years ago it was whatever it was. And I'm like, great, but that was 2 years ago. Are you thinking it's going to actually go down, or are you just so pissed that you didn't buy it then that you can't get over yourself? So a lot of people make the mistake of constantly looking backwards, and looking backwards is going to do nothing but give you just a bad feeling all around. It's not prices have not gone down. So let's look at some numbers. Point.
Stop looking backwards. I love that.
So let's look at some numbers here, right? So we've got let's see. I think this is the one I want to do. Let's see. This I believe is this is 2020. May 2020. So I just showed you guys. Let's go back and I'll show you this. So this is today, 2022 or 2023, right? We're in 2023. It's 2023. We were at 442 median home price for single family units and 275 for condos and townhomes. Let's go back to 2020 when everybody thought we were going to crash. Remember how many people your housing market's going to crash?
Oh yeah,
COVID, housing market's going to crash. We were at 185 for the median home price for the condos and 315 median home price back in 2020. Now let's look at 2021. Didn't go down. They said it was going to crash in 2020. It didn't get crashed. Didn't crash. Didn't crash in 20. Didn't crash in 2021. We went up. So prices went up. 385 for single family, 205 for condos and townhomes. And now again, just to be a reminder, now we look at today. It does burn a little if you look back.
Overall, it's still moving up.
We're going up.
Like if you're looking at an overall picture, not like a blimp.
Absolutely. So prices are going up. So for me, the biggest thing with people saying, I'm going to time the market, I'm just going to wait. The more you wait, the more money it's going to cost you. Period. End of story. Right? That's it. And these numbers show it. We have not every year for the last 3 years, they have said, we're going to crash in 2020. All of us thought we were out of jobs. We're going to crash in 2021. We're going to crash in 2022. We're going to crash in 2023. Every year they've said there's going to be a crash, and we keep growing and our price keeps going up. So the more you wait, more money it's going to cost you. And that's just the bottom line. There's the numbers and facts to back it up.
I love that you pulled all those numbers.
The other thing that comes up, thank you, is rates are just too damn high. Rates are just too high. Allow me to go back to, remember when, we got free money. We got on a Candy Crush high during the 2020.
Major Candy Crush.
I
was enjoying the candy. It was good candy.
We loved the candy. Everybody could, free money, 2%, 3%. Amazing rates, right? I'll never forget the moment when rates went from 2 to 3 to 5, and that was what, about a year.
Even 3.
3 was amazing. People were freaking out at 3, but when they went to 5, it was
last year.
Last year, everything came to a grinding halt. I'm waiting for the rates to drop. The rates have not dropped. Now we are begging for 5. People are like, oh my God, if I could just get 5, I'll be fine. If I could just get 5, 4.99 would be great. If I could
5 is the new 3 right now.
5 is the new 3.
So I remember somebody saying, like, when they hit 5.5, and they were like, I don't know, should I lock? I don't know what I should do, because it was new construction and you just don't know.
And you can lock in that rate.
And I remember thinking to myself, because you have to back up and step out, because we're as people, we're like, we look at perception, right? Like everything is based on perception. And it doesn't matter what you have today. Like everybody's looking at what it was yesterday. So that looking back thing, like that's something we should be talking about more often. But
what does it say? Yesterday's gone, tomorrow's something, today is the present. Like, I don't know. Like today is all you got. Today
is what you got. Yeah. So when it hit 5, I remember clients freaking out, like, I don't know, should I lock? And then I remember like stepping back and saying to myself, and I said to them, we might look at 5 like it's a bad rate,
right?
But what if it's, what if it keeps going up?
Yeah.
And then most of them locked at that point. We're very grateful that they did, and stuff like that. But we're kind of in that same place today, where we might be looking at it as a bad thing, but as rents keep rising too and stuff like that, what if it's a better thing than what it holds in 2 months from right now? You don't know what the future holds, and I don't know if that kind of
I know what the future has held by looking at the past, and it has held nothing but up
until inflation is handled. We'll probably be seeing that. But the alternatives are to rent, and those rates are going. Honestly, 100% of your rent is like that's 100% is the rate on rent, because you're not gaining anything on that.
So this is not about, we want to make money off of you today. This is about just trying to help you guys look at this with some common sense and some facts and some numbers. And we're not just fluffing in the air. We're showing you it's not going to go down, right? Prices aren't going down. We've dipped a tiny bit, and it'll do that a little bit, but that tiny bit's not going to save you enough money to wait for the next tiny bit. Because guess what? While that next tiny bit drop is going to be after it's risen a little bit more, right? It's it's like that. Do you remember that on Price is Right? The Cliff Climber show, where it was like, if you got the prices right for everything, it would climb the thing. That's what I keep thinking about when I have always the weirdest references. Anyway, so with rates being too high, the other thing is inventory being low is definitely what's keeping those rates, not the rates, but keeping the prices high. We don't know what's going to happen with rates, but I'm going to tell you right now, getting in at wherever you can is going to be refinancing to get a better rate later is going to be much easier than trying to buy when the rates drop and everyone and their mom is out there trying to buy a house. You're going to save more money if you do this way. Just get something, secure the bag, watch those rates, and refinance down when you think they're going to drop again, which is awesome, because you're going to have to outbid people and come out of pocket literally more money up front, because there's going to be so much competition when the rates do drop again. That's the bottom line. It's better to buy and refi than to try to buy when everybody else does. That's the bottom line.
No, absolutely great point. The other thing that always crosses my mind is that when people call and say, well, I think I'm just going to rent. Like, just as we hit hard times in 2020, and those people that bought houses and owned houses, they were in a place where they could call the bank, get a forbearance, miss a couple payments if times got hard. Like when you're talking about jobs being an issue and everybody's worried about jobs, we all work jobs, right? Yep. You could work a job too. I work a job too. So if I have to call the bank and say, can I put a couple months on the back of my loan?
They're going to work with you.
Then they'll work with me, right? If you're renting, because there's only 2 really options, rent or buy. So if you're renting, can you really call your landlord and say, I'm going to miss some payments?
They're going to say, tough shit. Sorry, but
that's not something that you could do. So you're actually a little bit more protected owning a house. And having it, like backed by Fannie, Freddie, FHA, because they hold a lot more money than your actual landlord does. Because remember, they own a house that's backed by Fannie, Freddie, but Fannie, Freddie doesn't help investors. They only help people that live in their house as primary residence.
So the other thing I think that a lot of people say is, COVID really decimated me, or I've always been a renter and never been able to save, and I don't really have a lot of savings. And I heard you have to have 20% down to buy a home, which is false. False. Yeah. With that being said, though, a lot of people have misconceptions related to financing, right? That's why we do these videos, guys. We have shorts on both of our channels. Yeah. We have Instagrams, we have TikToks. Like, we're trying to put all the good, real, free, and truthful information out there. You don't need 20% down. There are loans that will allow you to do 3.5% down, 5% down, 10% down, and there are free money programs and grants that we can layer and stack to make the cake of whatever the kind of financing is you're trying to get. So it's less about you worrying and trying to figure out on your own. It's more about you calling us and letting us help you. That's kind of the whole goal of this. It's less about, we want you to be off the fence of trying to figure it out yourself, and let us do the lifting for you and help you really think through it.
Yeah, right? It never hurts for us to talk to you and help you to see where you're at. Like, here's your plan. Here, okay, so we'll look at your income and we'll see where it's at, and then say, okay, you can go for this grant or this grant, or you need to save up for 3% or 3.5%. Like, at least you know a game plan and you're working your way to get there.
Instead of just sitting back thinking, I'm not a saver, I can't save.
Don't let fear take over.
Yeah,
don't let fear take over.
All right, so let's jump into some questions. We hope that gave you a really good idea of what the hell's going on in the market. If you joined us late, rewind back to the beginning. We shared some slides. We talked about some inventory stuff. And really, at the end of the day, we're just trying to convince you that you shouldn't be waiting to buy a house. Stop trying to time the market. Yeah. Stop trying to think that you're smarter than the next guy. You're not. None of us are. We're going off of facts and truth and stuff that we see in this market every single day. And we're letting you know, and have proven it today, every single year that they've said there's going to be a crash over the last 3 years, the prices have gone up and the rates have gone up. Right? So you waiting, it's costing you more money, right? Absolutely costing you more money. So we're here to take your questions now. So drop it like it's hot if you want to ask us any questions down below. We're going to jump into those right now. The other thing is it doesn't have to be about real estate. You can ask us about anything. You can ask us about best pizza in town, whatever. And just to remind you guys, if you click the link in the description below or the pinned comment, you will get to speak with me personally about any and all of these questions. And then if you're ready, I'll pass you over to Amber and she can answer your questions related to financing. We are I don't know, we're like the awesome duo or something over here, like
Laverne and
tag
Shirley?
Team duo. Yeah, we're like Laverne and Shirley. We are like Laverne and Shirley. I need a big L right here. We're Laverne and Shirley over here. We work very closely hand in hand. We want to make sure that you are carried gracefully into Las Vegas or gracefully from being a renter into a buyer.
Yes,
whenever it's right for you. It could be 10 years from now. I don't care. Call. Let's talk. I had a call with someone yesterday who's not moving here for 4 more years. Spent a whole lot of time on the phone with them. That's what we're here for. We want to be here for you. So, all right, let's jump into these questions, see what everybody's saying. All right. Trevor says, I would buy a house in Las Vegas this moment if I win the Mega Millions or even a huge jackpot. Trevor,
remember who your friends are.
Remember who your friends are, first of all. And also, like, I don't know, maybe you don't have to win Mega Millions. Maybe you can get a free money program to help you buy a house. You never know.
Yeah, if you're renting right now, you never know.
Never know.
Let's kind of look at it for you.
Pollock says, hello from Pittsburgh. Hello, Pollock. It's good to hear from you. Samuel Jackson. Good afternoon, ladies. He's going to be moving.
Mr. Sam.
Lila says, good morning from Hawaii. Good morning. Aloha. Aloha.
Oh, yes. Aloha. We can't say it wrong.
Samuel says, our house here is live on the MLS, and we ought to be in Las Vegas to pin down our new house as soon as next week. Amazing.
Yay.
Gosh, we've been waiting for you guys. Once again, this is another client that's called us years in advance. We've been friendly with.
Has it been a year or 2 years?
It's been a couple years now,
right?
and we've been friendly, and we've helped them while they've been on their journey, and we love it, and they've been a part of our lives already and building a friendship. It's amazing. It's amazing. Slim, hey Slim, Valentine, good to see you.
He says great info. Slim to buy a house too. You're another one.
Working on it. All right. Big Oos 92 says, would love to buy now, but credit is still hindering me. Can we talk about that for a minute? About credit?
Like your credit
tips
scores.
And tricks, maybe?
Yeah. So here's another thing. I talked to a client yesterday that her credit was hindering her, and she's like, I just can't figure it out. I've been making my bills on time, and I pulled it, and the scores were low. But the minute that I did what's called a what if simulator and showed that she paid off credit cards that weren't even that much, I think it was like a $3,000. She paid those down to 10%, brought her scores up 60 points.
Wow.
So
really?
Yeah. So sometimes your credit, you might, and then I talked to another one just recently too, and he's like, I don't think I'm going to be able to buy, but let's kind of work out a game plan, blah, 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 blah. I pulled his credit. I'm like,
you're fine.
You thought you were bad because you're comparing yourself to someone who might be like straight hay paper.
Yeah.
But you can get an FHA loan without even bumping the rate. So like you're not bad.
Yeah.
So moving forward, right?
Like who told you your credit's bad? Do you think your credit's bad? Because she's got a system that actually tells you what's what.
Yeah. Right? And then if you did have some lates and some collections and stuff like that, let's just work a plan to be able to one by one take care of everything and put you on the right path so that in the future you can get a house. Like,
I love that.
Come on, no
Let's
fear.
do this. No waiting, big,
it's all good.
big oos. I was gonna say Urs. My ex-husband's name was Big Urs. They call him Big
Oh,
Urs. So I was
really?
like, are you on my live stream right now? The next one is DLVTT says, how is the median sales price of homes in Las Vegas compared to this time last year, and how many homes are listed compared to this time last year? So while you were chatting, I just went and found the May 2022 housing update, so we can look at that number. So last year we were higher on the median home price, 482. So like we said, the correction that was supposed to happen, or that was going to happen
last year.
happened. Keep in mind, this time last year was white hot madness in this industry. It was everybody and their mom was trying to buy a house. Everybody and their mom was outbidding each other, pulling money out of the mattress, selling grandma's rings, like doing what they could. Seriously, doing what they could to outbid each other with cash out of their pocket. And then let me hide his.
But that's not even that much higher for paying cash out of your pocket.
100%.
So it's 42. I knew people that were paying $50,000 over
50
appraised
and
value
more.
just to get in a house.
Cash money, not loan, 50,000 cash out of their
So
wallet.
comparing it to today.
So it's comparing it to now. So 442 and 275. So it's down on both from this year versus last year, but not by much. Not by much. So we're going to go back to 2022.
Go back to it really fast.
So inventory also way lower a year ago than it is now, but we're still pretty low. By way
number
lower.
of listings a year ago is 4,033. What is it now?
Right now we are.
Oh, geez. So our inventory is lower.
Oh, so sorry. I meant to say that in reverse. Did I say that backwards? The inventory is lower, but also last year it was right now. It was white hot explosion. And by this time next month last year, we were like out of houses. We had nothing left to buy. So it's been a nutty thing, but to look year over year, just very plainly, right? Prices have dipped a little, but the values are still very much holding. And the reality is that we're not seeing it climb down any further. We're at a standstill because a year ago, the interest rates were still really low, right? That's the difference. Those interest rates are kind of keeping things steady. Mm-hmm. If the interest rates were still 2%, or people were, and we had,
our median house price is probably 600,000.
Exactly. Like, and we had thousands of homes on the, like, trust me when I tell you, we would be able to find ourselves in a different place.
Yeah.
We're just not there. So yeah, we've seen the correction from last year, which we needed. First of all, we were overinflated. It was way too much.
It was scary with people paying.
I was like, you're paying what out of your pocket?
We can't sustain that kind of
market. That we didn't want that. And we didn't need that. I mean, we enjoyed it, but we were like, we're tapping out. We're done. Right.
Yeah.
It made no sense to us for people to be paying more than the house was worth to get into the house. Right. So we're not there anymore. So we are now adjusted. We're there. We're done. If we start to dip down even a little bit more, great. But we're not going to see a crash where we go, I'm waiting for houses to be $40,000 again. Okay, cool. Then I'll see you, in another lifetime, because it's just not going to be there. As long as
40,000.
I had someone say that to me. I was like, are you high? What did you take today?
Like when I was born, they were probably 40,000.
You're not that old. Don't hate yourself.
Probably not, maybe not.
Anyway,
okay, thanks. Well, we won't. That.
So anyway, so great question. So just glad that we were able to show you 2020, 2021, 2022, and now this year it's gone up. And since last year, which was ridiculously overinflated, it's now balanced down. Mm-hmm. Where we should have been this time last year is about where we are right now, right? Mm-hmm. In terms of the upswing from the last several years. So I hope that made sense. All right. Let's see. Samuel Jackson said, I got Laci directly a few years ago when I called. She's a crack up. Hey, thanks, Samuel. Thinking about I'll invite you to my first stand-up night. We'll see what's what. He also said there is no crash coming. Thank you so much for saying that.
And Sam is a big researcher. I get texts all the time with, hey, check this article out. Check this article out. He's a big researcher on that stuff.
So Oscar says, now that I'm here, I'm still sitting on the sidelines waiting for the right opportunity for me. Oscar, love that you're doing that. We love that you're here now.
Being here.
So grateful. This is Oscar's another person who's been following for a long time and been checking in with us on his journey, which has been super cool. And you're right. Now that you're here, depending on your financial situation, we're not like buy now. We're like, don't sit on the sidelines and wait for the crash to buy, because that's not the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. But you absolutely should be sitting and looking for those opportunities. Oscar, reach back out and let us know what we can do to help. I know that you've been working with us a little bit, but we're ready to get you started. And there's also a lot of really great new home opportunities out there that you might be interested in. So really, really good. Okay, let's see. Lila says, would like to buy a house in the next 3 years or so. Do we have to live in the house right away to be able to use a VA loan? Good question.
So on a VA, that's a great question. So on a VA loan, they require you to, because VA is just for the veteran, right? The veteran and the veteran spouse. And those are primary residence loans. So you have to live in it within 60 days of buying it. So you have to basically have a plan, a job set up, a transfer setup, something like that, coming to where you're in the house 60 days after purchasing it.
Okay, that makes sense. But that's just VA loan.
That's VA loan. But let's talk so we can talk about your situation, because I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And let's see, like maybe one of you are moving, both of you are moving. I'm not sure. So let's talk so we can work out your situation and how everything's looking.
Lila, great question.
Yeah.
Do us a favor. There's a link in the description or the pinned comment, or on the bottom of the screen, there's a cell phone number. Reach out, text me. I've got it. It'll probably happen right now while we're on live. Text us. We'll get in touch with you, and we'll see if Amber's the first person you need to speak to, or if it's me. But looking forward to working with you. That would be awesome. Isaiah said he reached out, but he got no reply. That they're planning to move in 2025. Isaiah, would you do me a favor and check your spam folders? Because a lot of times, spam and junk folders. A lot of times our emails and stuff goes straight there for whatever reason. Can't help it. It's how that works. But honestly, if you could just do me a favor, there's a number right at the bottom of the screen. Feel free to call or text that. And I'll get back to you today. We'll get the conversation started, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Excited about you and your girlfriend coming in 2025. That's going to be fun. I love that. All right, let's see what else we got here. Battleborn Steve's new video about Paradise Palms is excellent. Thank you, Paul Carl Lucas. Battleborn Steve's an amazing realtor. He's a great guy. We've done a lot of good stuff with him, and he does make amazing videos. He's awesome.
He does.
Are there any first-time buyers incentives from Chris? What do you think?
Yes, Chris. So first-time hires incentives, those are the grant programs. Well, there's more too, like conventional offers 3% down for first-time home buyers. And if you fit under a certain income level, their rates are a little bit better too. So depending on where your income level and as a first-time home buyer, you can benefit that way. There's also the grant programs. A lot of those are specifically for first-time home buyers. You also have to fit under certain income levels on those too. So we got to look at it and see which ones you fit under. But yeah, there's a lot out there. So let's talk and get you set up just so that you know exactly which one you fit into.
Really good question. C Pimpin 100. I freaking love his name.
I know. You're awesome.
So we're back to normal as in prices going up in the spring and down in the fall? Question mark. No, we haven't really seen that kind of trend in a long time. Like we don't typically see prices going up and down. For us, it's more inventory shrink and grow. But since COVID, I haven't seen that trend. What we've seen is more people come on and off the market to buy. That's about it. But prices have been pretty steady.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, one month it's good, the next month it's different. So like it's month to month right now. So there's really no trend. I would like us to get back to a trend though.
That would be great. I'd love to be able to take a vacation at some point, knowing what's going to happen when I'm gone.
Yeah.
Samuel says the FOMC meeting is next week. Will they pause rates, increase 25 BPS, increase 50? Unemployment numbers aren't doing what they're hoping for. What do you think is going to happen?
You know what? I'm not even going to try to guess.
We normally do guess. We're normally brave enough to do that, but it has been. Listen, do we look haggard? It's been a hell of a month. I'll tell you that right now. We are worn out, but we're not losing hope. We're definitely not losing hope.
Because what I hope they do is they won't move it at all and say they're going to look at things, but you never know. So
DLVTT says Hollywood movie studios comes to Vegas. What impact do you think it'll have on the housing market? Here's what I'm going to say about this. I moved to Las Vegas when I was 9 years old, and I was waving the flag, telling everyone and their mom who would listen to me at 9 years old, and I said, this will be the new Hollywood. Mark my words. This will be the new Hollywood. Movie stars
got that on video.
I know, right? I probably have letters that I wrote to my pen pals back in the day, because we actually wrote with pen to paper. I'm old enough for that. But I've said it for 100 years. This is going to happen, and I think it's definitely going to happen. I think it's going to make house prices go up, guys. I think it's going to do nothing but good for our city, but bad for people who are sitting on the sidelines waiting to buy. I think the more Hollywood, Mark Wahlberg, Perez Hilton, all these people who are moving to Vegas to realize the tax benefit, the housing benefit, the amazing, incredible experience of living here benefit, all the things that come with it. I think the more and more that catches on and they start building out these studios that like Mark Wahlberg and all those guys are doing, better watch out. We might turn into like the next LA. So it's good for the homeowners who are already in it. It's going to be bad for the ones who wait. So that's a sad reality of the situation, but also cool, I guess.
I mean, if you look at it, it brings more jobs into Vegas. So more jobs bring more people are going to bring less inventory is going to bring higher prices.
Okay, Big Oos 92 says, Joe, how do you feel about consolidating credit card debt? What happens when you consolidate credit card?
It depends on how you're consolidating credit card debt. So I've seen some people that go out and they get high interest like consolidation loans, and their payment isn't much different than what their credit card would be, but they have it paid off within 5 years. So like it depends on how you're going to consolidate it. And there's other ways too, like there's consolidation companies that will actually have you stop making payments on the loans so that they can then negotiate a lower price.
That's a bad thing, right?
Yeah, because it kills your credit. It's going to take you years to make that up.
Yeah, so be careful with those consolidation offers.
But just pay attention when you're talking to them. Make sure you walk in knowing as much as you can, because there's some that are decently good, and then there's some that are horribly bad.
Yeah.
Depends on how you're going to do it.
Good feedback. Doug, I inherited a house and sold it. Would I still qualify for a first-time home buyer loan? Yes.
Oh.
You inherited it, right?
Well, it depends on how long.
I'm over here nodding. Oh, wait, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
It depends on which one you're going to go for, too. So, like, some of them, if you've ever, because if you inherited, I would imagine it's not on your credit. Or if you put it on your credit, do you still own it?
Wait, so if you inherited it, did you inherit the payment, or did you just get a house handed over to you? Right?
Yeah. So it kind of depends on the situation. Like if you just inherit a title of a house and there's no payment on it,
that's what I thought.
Then that would be looked at differently. And some of them require 3 years without having a house. Some of them require not having a house right now. So it just depends on how you inherited it and what came over.
I was under the impression if they just handed you a house and they were like, congratulations, you're now a homeowner and you don't have any bills associated with it other than utilities or taxes, that you would then be able to qualify for a first timer because you never bought the house, right?
Yeah, but titles in your name.
Titles in your name. So it would be definitely different. I straight up thought I was 100% on that one. I was like, no, I did that one wrong. Okay, good question. Reach out to us. Like I said, there's a text number down below, or you can send an email or fill out the form. We'd love to chat with you and give you some more information on that. If you're really looking to buy, please don't wait. Let's see. Jaybird Vegas says hello. Hey, Jaybird Vegas. Good to see you. Okay, Amber and Laci was in Las Vegas last week visiting family, went driving around neighborhoods. That's awesome. Still not ready to move. Maybe in the next 2 years, we'll contact you when we're ready. MJ, would love that. Call me next time you're coming in town. I can give you guidance on where to go drive and what things to check out. You got my phone number, guys. This is my phone number. I get this phone. It's on my. This is me. I've been handing out my phone number for a long time. I'm not getting a whole lot of phone calls. I'm gonna say that right now. And I think I look pretty cute, so someone better call me at some point.
You're adorable. Come on,
tell me again how I'm adorable.
You are adorable.
Casey, hey Casey. Oh, good to see you. Gosh, it's been a minute. Are assumable loans a thing? I put an offer on a house with an assumable loan, then the lender CMG gave us the runaround for over 2 months and said they're canceling all requests. Casey, I hope you're working with my team on that purchase, because we've definitely done a couple of the assumable loans recently. They are a thing. Do you want to talk about them?
They are a thing. I don't know why so it all depends on who. So an assumable isn't me that's handling your loan.
Right.
You're taking over a loan that somebody already has. So it's the current bank that they're in process with.
Right.
So in that case, I never heard of a bank saying that they're not handling any more requests, but I guess it could happen.
Yeah.
That a bank does that. Yes, people can assume loans if it's FHA, VA. The timing on them isn't always the best though. So like it could take anywhere between 2 and 4 months.
Yeah, and
to
that's
be able to get them done.
That's not super exciting for a seller who's excited to get their house sold and get it off their books, right?
Yeah.
So it definitely makes it a little harder to negotiate on those. I really hope you're working with us, Casey. Please give me a call. I would love to chat with you. I feel like we've talked before, and I think it's. If it's the Casey, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I
would love to see you. It's hard because these photos are like this big. I would love to chat with you again and see what's going on and see if we can help you with that process.
And sometimes too, I've seen it. Like I had a client that was going through Guild on an assumable, and they called me and were like, "Okay, this is not working." So I reached out to the assumable department, and their debt ratio was only off by a little bit because the debt ratio requirement on assumables are really low.
Yeah.
So then they had to pay off some bills, but I had to get involved to do that. So
and she did it, even though she didn't make money. It's about us making sure you guys are taken care of. Yeah. Find out about what their limits
find
are.
out about what's holding it back. Mm-hmm.
I love that. All right, let's see. Over the years, Sam says, over years, I've run into all kinds of celebs in Las Vegas, boxers, actors, and spouses, recording artists, and even an astronaut. Richard Simmons was the most hysterical. That would have been fun. Isn't he still missing?
He would be so fun to run into Richard Simmons.
Anybody ever hear that rumor that Richard Simmons has been missing for a long time? They had a podcast about it. Where is Richard Simmons? I'm a Howard Stern fan, and they talked about it on the show like 5 years ago, so I feel really bad for. I hope you're not missing Richard. If you're living in Vegas, I love you. I'm not getting anything out here. And then the last one, we got Sammy Bowen. Hey, Sammy girl, love you.
Hey,
love to chat with you soon, babe. Last one I'm gonna see is C Pimpin. Sorry. Says, have you guys seen the new retail space that they're building in Sky Canyon right below the Smiths when you exit 95? I haven't seen that. I actually am supposed to go out there later today, so I'm gonna check that out. Have you seen it?
I haven't, but there's new construction going on everywhere. I was just on like in the south side, that Durango casino that's being built out there. I'm like,
Durango
really
Station's about to open.
And like new hospitals. Like there's stuff going on everywhere in Las Vegas right now. It's kind of an exciting time.
All those things, it is an exciting time, but all those things lead to more people coming, house prices going up. So I'm gonna wrap this up with a bow. the whole point of this video was to just once again talk to you about the current market, but also just tell you why you should not wait to buy a house. I hope that we were able to give you some stats and some figures to kind of back up our claim and not so you weren't just like, oh, they're just trying to get a sale, because we're not. But we'd love to just re-offer once again. Amber and I are here for you. We're here for you now, tomorrow, whenever you're ready. But don't think you need to be ready to call us. Let us help you get ready. So click the link in the description, click the link in the pinned comment, or there's a cell phone number scrolling across the bottom of our screen. Call me, text me. Let's do this. Let's talk. All right. I'm very excited. Very, very excited.
And she's adorable too. Right?
And I'm so adorable. Anyway, thank you for joining us once again. We love when you guys come on lives. We're going to be back next Wednesday, I think, strong. And we will be doing that dinner pretty soon. We just got way late over the last couple months. It's been crazy. I hope to see some of you around town. If you guys come into town to Las Vegas, please reach out and let me know. Would love to say hi if I can, if I'm out and about, or would love to give you recommendations on anything you want to check out. If you filled out our form and haven't heard from us, you better check that junk mail and that spam. Or like I said, who knows? Stuff slips through the cracks and we're not perfect. We're humans too. So reach out, reconnect. I definitely want to connect with all of you and just want to see you guys become homeowners here in Vegas or living your best damn Las Vegas life. What you think?
As homeowners.
High five.
Let me finish that off, okay?
I want people to live their best Las Vegas life, and I know that the way that's going to happen is if they become homeowners. So we love you guys. Wishing you a beautiful week and weekend, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Yeah.
Yes. Next Wednesday. It's a date.
Next Wednesday.
Excited to see you again.
I'm